Hello traders, and welcome to this new Bitcoin technical, Orderflow, macro and on-chain analysis video. Past 10 days, I would say, I was taking maybe 50 trades, 50 plus trades, many I shared into our group. So I was very busy of making the video. I was actually trading this insane volatility. If we go to volatility index, look what happened. This was largest volatility spike since August 2024. It actually went even to 8. This is like our own VIX version, because for traditional markets we have VIX. I was trading all of this. These were insane opportunities. I think I added to accounts like 20-30%. I used that profit to buy Bitcoin on spot, so it was excellent transaction, and now we are returning back to normal. First portion of the video, we can go over Bitcoin dropping into 60,000. I will be showing you a few posts I was making as we were dropping, because we were expecting like this, like eventually we could hit 60k. That I will then cover like why we stopped at 60,000. Also what happened in the on-chain market as well on Orderflow too, because this was capitulation event. Very likely we've put in a pretty strong low for some time. We will also go over general technical analysis to predict where could be more targets for Bitcoin in bear market. Also on-chain, I will show you a few on-chain supports for the future, so you can load up cheap Bitcoin even in case we lose this low. I will also tell you about long I was taking here, also a few trades I was taking in this range. I'm basically hedged right now, waiting for Bitcoin's move. And we can have a look on Orderflow at the end of the video. So it's going to be a long video, but well worth it. Like everything was brewing in me for the past 10 days, so I will spit everything out. Enjoy, relax, and let's go for the analysis. So again, we need to start to look for 60,000. How was the reversal happening and everything around it. Let me first show you few posts I was making. I made like thousands of posts into our group, so there was like massive guidance. But I want to show you these main things which I was like watching for. So first thing, I did this. This is pretty advanced view. I was warning when we were at 70,000. We can actually see very swift move to the downside, because all Bitcoin is doing. Let me show you that in chart, because I have folder for that. So we go for 2021 fractal. We need to go to very high time frame, 3 days. Let's see. Yes, 3 days is fine. We can hide this further. You know, symmetry is very powerful. We use symmetry in I was estimating Bitcoin targets at here. All these big highs were given from extensions, and the extensions are a symmetry. And same thing, like psychology, Bitcoin is not like human participants are not changing in the market. Yes, you have some algos, but general market behaviors and herd behaviors are not changing. Whatever happened in 2021, we had pretty good chance to repeat same for the Bitcoin. You can see like this is also fractal, yeah, pretty much. Look at that. We were pushing, so we started bull market in 2021. We were pushing here, and then we did first consolidation. The consolidation here was shorter. It was just how long? 3 months of consolidation. So this consolidation was taking 8 or 9 months, much longer period of time, but it's very similar. Bitcoin tends to do like mid-cycle run, then it's gonna consolidate, and then it's gonna deliver you the double, you know, the double of the move. It's even visible in 2023, 2025. Initial push, consolidation, and then we started really like the big gains and second half of the cycle. What you can also see, these people who are buying Bitcoin above 80,000 or here above 43,000, they tend to be round trips, and they go even into losses. We can say they are pretty much late buyers, right? Yes, you can do your dollar cost averaging, but the main positions we are building in these zones when the fear was at maximum after bear market, yeah. So Bitcoin is not surprising what it did, and you see what happened after that. So we went for the final high, and then we pushed to the downside. Where did we stop in 2021? Is it mystery or not? Of course, it was that 3 months of consolidation. We literally ran it almost fully. Yes, there was 55% drop, and then we started consolidating for a few months, and then it actually created platform for us to return back into highs. I'm not sure which option Bitcoin is going to pick. We will go over that a bit later, But again, if we apply the same principle, only thing we don't know right now is if we are in this type of consolidation where you rejected highs, you will be using a previous, like same like here or same like here, you will use that distribution areas as a support, and then you actually finish the bear market and destroy most of the conviction in the market with the new lows, and you will then bottom out for a few months. We just don't know if it's this situation or this yet, but we can determine that from other data. But for now, everything is happening very similarly to 2021. And I would say you can also see like Bitcoin had a 56% targets to drop to the downside. Nothing is perfect, nothing is repeating at the same time. But in the past, we dropped 55% on the initial impulse or 52% from that high. Right now we did, let me measure, we did 52. So you see the symmetry of the move to the downside is more to this down move. Yeah, 52, 52. Generally, Bitcoin tends to like see larger buying supportive action when we drop 50% because many people are on the sidelines on Bitcoin and now they have 50% discount. It's like big psychological level. They can buy Bitcoin pretty much cheap. I was also buying on spot market here a few times, so no surprises. So again, we are in the blue box. Maybe we will range in this box for a few weeks or even few months. We will see how the price develops. It's gonna depend not only on Bitcoin but about general markets. Yes, if we see further weakness in Nasdaq, and technological stocks, Bitcoin will very likely just drop down further because Bitcoin is ultimately not safe haven, but is following Nasdaq on 2x leverage, we can say. Everything what Nasdaq does, Bitcoin amplifies its amplitude. Plus, Bitcoin also reflects the global risk at the same time. Because when global risks are low, the technology sector is pushing, so everything is interconnected. So this fractal played out nicely. When we were dropping, this is just guidance. I wanted to see Bitcoin to be defended in this, like this is bullish defense of the previous 2024 range. We were getting some reaction, but it was very small. I also warned our traders, if you lose 67,000, we don't have volumes in the like we don't have key levels from AMT in the zone, so you can pretty much quickly move over 67, 60, 64k and go into my main trade area from the lows of that range, which ultimately gave us that 20% move to the upside. But it was crucial to identify this so you know when to expect more weakness. And we see like when on the drop we did see the highest premium on the Coinbase since like very long history, like for the whole year. This was the most negative inflows on Coinbase. This was telling you when the Coinbase premium index is negative, we do see high outflows from ETFs. ETFs were pretty much late buyers. They their average price is above, I think, is 80,000 right now, so of course they capitulated. This was another contributing factor. We went to the downside. Also, when we were dropping, I identified 60k as a nice demand. Yes, you see, this was actually highest, like in terms of sheer size, biggest volume on the limit orders on the buy side was at 60,800 Bitcoins just on Binance alone. Like you need very large volume to breach the level on the first touch. That's one of the reasons I think we were defending 60k. Many people longed in front of 60k and they used 60k barrier for their stop loss. So stop losses were just below. So you didn't want to see the barrier breach because it would be cascading lower, right? So, but for now we identified all key exchanges in the world, even Kraken and Binance, USDC, everybody was defending 60k. So it's such a big, huge psychological level. I was not surprised it gets defended. 70k also got a big defense, but not as 60k. I'm also, when we are dropping here at 63,000, I also told our traders I start to think the drop is very overcooked. Doesn't mean like bottom is immediately closed, but it can be like, the end of the move like in the next 24 hours, 48 hours. So it's just such a big extension. The reversal was coming pretty much, yes. Alpha squared, yeah. We do use Alpha Squared. I have public tutorial for this tool. This tool is super advanced. Is using many calculations to estimate fair value for Bitcoin and where is the best time to buy it. You pretty much look for Bitcoin to buy. By the way, everything I say is not financial education, just entertainment. But It's not financial advice. Anytime Bitcoin drops below 10 and goes to 0, like very close, in the risk monitor in the alpha square tool, we tend to find bear market bottoms, or at least medium to high time frame bottoms. Yeah, look at that, 1-2 times here as well. 2022 bull bear market, and same thing was happening here. We went to 7.9 score. Like the max pain, like absolute crash for the market will be 44k, of course, from that level, which is still far away, but we are below 10, and we tend to see massive defense of the you know, when you already go below 10, down to 5. Like in these regions, you buy extremely cheap Bitcoin. You know what is beauty of Alpha Squared? It's using only data analysis. It absolutely excludes sentiment and emotional side of the market. There is no fear and greed index. This is all based on data. This is what Wall Street uses. Watch the tutorial and you will make your decision making easier. So I said our traders, Alpha Squared risk below 10. When there is blood on the street, you do what you planned. Because I bought some Bitcoin on spot already at 60,000 when I see this is that's a huge discount for me. Of course, I was saying in 6 to 12 months, these entries can be nicely profitable. These buys are for the long term. More you made in bull market, money you made in bull market, you start to put in work right now. That's the thing, yeah, because I was booking lots of profits publicly above 100k up to 126k. Multiple of them were public, even mentioned in the YouTube videos. Now all that profit I booked on Bitcoin, I'm buying Bitcoin very cheap. I can tell you one thing, do not trust the general narrative. You need to hodl Bitcoin forever and never sell it. Absolutely stupid. If you have basic knowledge of the trading or investing, you will be selling asset high and you will use that capital to buy asset cheaply again on the drop. We do get huge returns on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is overperforming for like in the next 10 years, last 10 years, everything on the planet except Nvidia, yeah? But we pay for that with huge volatility. So each time Bitcoin overperforms to the upside, pay yourself and then use that capital to buy the dip. Plus I use some trading capital as well. I was making from trades to buy the dip as well. So like double combo. Further, I also, like next day after we started pushing from 60k, we were still at 64k. I did, because we've seen like huge spot demand coming into the market, I bought Bitcoin on ETFs as well. So I'm buying also Bitcoin for called call deposits, which I do not touch, but on ETFs I'm buying because there is less tax on ETFs. So I'm also bought Bitcoin on that morning. So yeah, that was cool. And I want to show you one more thing. On the, we had the flash crash drop. We had the big drop into 80,000 and we were taking high time frame liquidity. Let me show you high time frame liquidity first. It's easier for you to see. Swing, we go to, just need time frame change here to 4-hour time frame. Zooming out. This was the flash crash. It took the most immediate liquidity from range consolidation on the top. And then you see there was like first bear market high time frame move to the downside. We took we pretty much destroyed all the liquidity from high time frames. These are people not with 10x leverage on Bitcoin. They hold like 2x leverage Bitcoin, 5x leverage Bitcoin. Everybody taken out. Recovery. We were shorting that recovery, by the way. And then there was another huge liquidity pool, and that was also taken from 74,000 down to 66,000. Yeah, below this low. And you see how we extended to the downside because there was capitulation as well. People were exiting this market no matter the price. ETFs, spot market, options, everybody. So we even overextended the move to the downside, but this was like, I was telling our traders, this is going to be max pain for Bitcoin to run this fully and to see potentially VIX into the lows of that range. Yeah. So that also, like, Bitcoin completed that picture as well. So very nice. Now we can go to Onchain. I want to show you how Bitcoin capitulated from the Onchain data. Let's start. Let's find the start. We are already pretty much here. Yeah, that's the thing. So because Bitcoin was dropping in with like a lot in between I did like last video, so I was keeping our traders informed. But you know, 80k was huge support for us. It was ETF cost basis, like ETF buyers were defending, but you see how the 80k loss, like everybody who bought the ETF for the past year too, most of people start to be underwater. So this is why we saw such a huge negative Coinbase you know, premium, because people were capitulating in ETFs very late, and that was causing that big moves to the downside as well, contributing factor. You can also see all inflows since November 2022 are underwater when we are breaking 80,000, 75,000. So yeah, so much capitulation. Only people in profit were like early bull market and mid-cycle a bit, but yeah, generally this was just crazy. And this is how the bear market actually look like, sadly, but I keep telling you about that. We don't see much price action in a short-term hodler STH swapper. Like it's not green, and it's sustained green. So people buy the dips, they are getting in profit, everybody getting in profit. Every time we go above 1, people use the push to the upside to just get out from the positions on spot market and leverage, and we spend multiple days, weeks and months below 1. Same like in previous cycle. Yeah, look at that. This was it. Only brief. It's like when someone is drowning, he is just speaking head about water. People get out on spot, and then immediately we go red. Everybody getting wrecked who is buying the dip as well, like immediately. So this is signature of bear market, and I was definitely watching that when we rejected that big STH cost basis at 97, 95k. Without that reclaim, you don't have bull market. So I can use lots of data to know when we are in bear market or not. Now we can go, of course, when we are losing 70k, we were watching there was no volume traded in here, so 70, 80k to be round. Sorry, I'm going a bit to the history, but I just wanted to show you because I don't think it was covered in the video. You can watch in the future, look at that. Previous cycle bottom happened from periods of extreme miner stress. We actually have average for that when the miners are in big trouble. Last time the market bottomed out there. It's right now at 44,600, yeah. So keep an eye on this level in the future. Maybe it's going to be ultimate bottom for the Bitcoin in case we lose more key levels, and we'll watch that, yeah. Keep that in mind. Very, very interesting average. Again, I always watch where we bottomed out in previous cycles from Onchain, and where the key averages were stopping us. Beautiful, 44,000. Few more levels to watch. If we get bear market, like very strong bear market, and equities crash 20-30%, I will not be surprised to see Bitcoin below 30,000. It is sad reality, but it is what it is. If we do that, since 2016, Bitcoin is. You can view this also like one anchor, like huge anchor VWAP, but this pretty much yearly volume weighted cost basis, right? And we do see every single cycle, we tend to find bottom from the 2015 and 2016 anchors here. And right now, these anchors are at 20,000. So in case Bitcoin gets closer to 20, 21, 22,000 in the future, I think this is going to be where I do the biggest entries in my dollar cost averaging strategies. I will also position much heavily for the option markets to the upside with the leverage, everything. 20k I would say is ultimate pain low for Bitcoin. I don't think it's coming. I would give it like 30% probability, but if it's coming, I do think it's going to be a final low for the Bitcoin. Yes, 30% chance for that. So this is from previous cycles. These averages were not tested yet as well from 2019-2020. We will see if they will put us some fight. Reclaim of these averages led to bull market, to the new bull market. So I think it was crucial. I will keep an eye on this. Currently they're at 40 to 36,000. It also is matching because, every time you measure Bitcoin's pullback from all-time highs, almost every single cycle we did 70% pullback to the downside. Maybe this time is different. We do like 50-60%, but who knows? If it's not, Well, these moving averages are actually right now at 70% pullback for Bitcoin. Okay, 40, 36. So you see how we are building these future battles where bulls, and I will be with them, will be taking battles to save the Bitcoin. I am, however, more optimistic and expect bottom for Bitcoin in the 49-57k zone, as many long-term averages are catching up to this zone, and it is also decent technical region. 63,500 to watch, which anchor our last cycle. It actually helped us stabilize as well. After we bounced from 60k, there was crucial reclaim of that same day to 63,500 and then push to the upside. You see what we are doing in the current cycle. 1, 2, 3. There was choppy time around it. It's going to be now very big question what we do around 64k, if we will be ranging for weeks or days or months, because what you do after, you can actually get big spring to the upside or big spring to the downside. So what we will be watching that. And now let's go to 60k drop from Onchain perspective, if it was exhaustive enough. All I can say are told our traders, we will be watching like the huge support from Onchain perspective, like next two lines where 200 week moving averages, 200 week moving average at 58,000. In the history, it of like long-term entries around that level tends to be really good for Bitcoin. So I think 60k front run was also sparking some spot market buyers who saw it's getting front run, and for them long-term entries here are making sense, and for me as well. In 1 or 2 years we can be at 150, 200. So of course you need to do some dollar cost averaging in these regions. We can see in the most cycles Bitcoin actually went below 200 big moving average. So if we lose 60k and if we lose 58k, I would say there is no problem for Bitcoin to lose another $10,000, yeah, and then start creating high time frame range. The high time frame range will be crucial for me, because you see only during COVID we had V-shaped recovery bounce, because all markets in the world crashed like 30 to 60% in a few days. So V-shaped recovery only here, but you see how the bottoming process was shaping up. Most of the time we did the range below it, and then on the reclaim you are actually adding to all entries. Same thing here, lots of ranging around. We actually did another big move to the downside deviation of FTX, and then we started pushing. You see what we did here, reclaim, retest of the 200 weeks moving average, and then we started pushing and initiated new bull market. Watch same fractal for here. Why it's so hard? No problem. I don't use averages as much, but I use 200 DMA and 200 week moving average on investing side and also on Bitcoin, because these are again super powerful long-term zones where you look for entries. So I do think we did capitulated into 60,000. I told our traders, even if I search keyword capitulation, you will see maybe 5-10 posts. I was telling our traders I'm ready to buy Bitcoin when I see like massive capitulation event, and I got that into 60k. Why? Because capitulation requires huge volume traded, and we did spot volume. Look at that, extreme volumes traded already, very similar like into these. ETFs of capitulated as well. We know after 80k they got trapped, they started pressuring market to the downside. So ETFs also highest volume ever for ETFs. Futures, massive spikes as well. This is good to see. Like this is showing you like sadly it's bear market, but it's showing you that big spike as well. So lots of people got destroyed on futures. Options also spiking massively. There was like a huge open interest decrease on options. So some option barriers were wrecked in the 70, 65 and 60k. So option barriers closing, they also helped our bounce with the Bitcoin, yeah. And we do see in absolute USD terms, this is the largest realized loss even in the Bitcoin's history. Bitcoin market cap is higher, so of course this must be higher, but you see these short-term hodlers, 1 week plus until 6 months. Yes, you can see 1 to 2 years, 6 months. Yeah, all the three cohorts, they're capitulating very similarly as in the previous cycle, like here. We might see like if you lose 60k again, 58k, I do think we will see one more big spike of that, and there will be another capitulation. So this either was already capitulation, or we will see another one with even larger spike or even like similar one. So just be aware it can happen in waves, and the 2 waves are pretty common compared to previous cycle. realized losses also spiking hugely. So yeah, very, very healthy recovery. Previous cycle even had like larger of these losses. Yes, Sopra also dropping. You see, is not at the most extreme levels compared to previous cycle, but we are getting there. We are like in very similar area we did over here. During the most hardest part of the bear market, we tend to go even more closer to 2. So in case Bitcoin does these two more like macro lows, I will expect this to be hit to 2 or even lower, and then I will position again more even into Bitcoin. Short-term hodler. You can skip video by 1 minute. I need to take the delivery. I forgot they are coming with food. Just 1 minute, yeah, and then skip the video. I don't want to re-record video again, so sorry, I apologize. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's go. So Sopra is showing us the deepest, like we do see capitulation already on such levels, very similar like a 280k, which also led to, you see, multi-day, multi-week range out of the such capitulation. So again, I'm not surprised we are seeing stability from 60k, and yeah, I think generally we should be happy with the 60k low for some time. Also, there was negative flush on the funding rates and premium flushed out. That's also sign of capitulation when leverage actually, like like futures go below spot prices. So another clue for capitulation. And we did see, like, this was insane to watch, but we did see some big shorts also coming into the lows, and they shorted the lows. So the capitulation ever tends to be like, you see many people destroyed on long side, but also at the same time at the short side as well. So this was remarkable to watch. It was great to watch when we were in positioning into our longs. Let me finish Onchain from here. So you see, that's what we see in bear markets, sadly. When I turn off. Yeah, we only can keep these three things. So I warn you pretty much here at the STH. This rejection here was like final nail into the coffin for Bitcoin. Reclaim of this would be to give us move above 100k, even a 115k retest. You spend below, it's just market is firmly locked in bear market. future reclaim of this area will give us new bull market very likely, so just watch over that. Currently at 91k. We even trade now right now below true mean, which is Bitcoin, like all the Bitcoins bought for in the current cycle, like very long term. And here we do see we are also below now 79,000. It's, you know, the sailor now is in minus. His average price of Bitcoin is 77,000. This is causing FAT. By the way, ignore sailor FAT. He is not buying on like big debt or leverage. He can sustain Bitcoin at 10,000 for 2 years without having any problems. Yeah, so don't worry about it. These FATs, all the articles you are reading is so they force you to sell Bitcoin into like your cheap Bitcoin into them, and then they will do another bull market without you. So please ignore that. And we also have ETF bases now at 80,000, and also all these long-term buyers. So it was pretty much certain we will do capitulation when you lose this area, because Bitcoin in all of its cycle, as I told you, first we destroy late buyers at this top consolidation, and then Bitcoin almost every single cycle it went for the mid-cycle buyers, for these people who bought in the middle of the cycle. We don't tend to run the consolidations which started bull market, but we tend to like mid cycle distributions we do run. So I'm not surprised Bitcoin is doing this. Absolutely not surprised. Week moving average is 200 week moving average now got front run. So yeah, it's very close to realized price as well. This is long-term average of all Bitcoins ever bought. So this should be support at 55k. Lose this and it's gonna spark another moves to the downside, because even lots of long-term buyers will start to feel the pressure, and then we can have a look on 49, 47, 44k supports. So yeah, it's very straightforward for me. Like there is no hesitation here. Super we went over with that. Yeah. Now you can see like this is now invested wealth into Bitcoin in the current cycle, and you do see so many people are underwater now. You see the biggest buying for Bitcoin was happening at 80,000, and like all the people are now trapped. So there is that pressure to just take them out, sadly. Here is that chart I love for these volume weighted cost basis. Again, we are discussing like this is the ultimate support for all the bull markets and bear market pullbacks. We are far away. We can see right now what is holding us. Cycle 4, we are holding from that recent history, from the average of 2000, like anchor view up pretty much, and cost basis from 2023, and people are defending. Why people are defending? Almost exactly modern era. We need to go to recent history. They are defending because 1, 2, 3 times we are defending the same line. So Onchain, I like Onchain. It's very powerful to combine with technical analysis and Onchain, Orderflow. Spot buyers coming in. Good. Okay, so we went for the Onchain. Now we can go for technical analysis. How long video is going? Well, let's go. 1 hour time frame. So let's go for our time frame. This is, by the way, idea for you to watch every time. Like Bitcoin tends to go into more ranging last week of the month. Why it's happening? Because the option market is putting Bitcoin into range. Same like here, same like here, same like here. I will be watching that last week of the month, and after option because this was huge option expire on Bitcoin here. I think 7 billion. We were watching that with traders. After we tend to see that end of the month option expiry, we tend to get the move, like sustained move, because option markets no longer is holding Bitcoin pinned in the zone. So you see we started that big downtrend. So end of the month was very crucial for the downtrend. Right now we are seeing symmetry. I'm watching this symmetry to help me to decide when to take profits on counter trade long, because again it's bear market, so this is counter trade long for me. When we've dropped to, like, this was also very exhaustive drop, remember it into 80,000, okay? We did push to the upside for 16% to the upside. I pretty much took this box and I copied it and I overlaid it over current bounce. You see the current bounce was very similar. Yes, it was 20%, a bit higher, but the symmetry was very similar. So I told our traders we did the initial, like the easiest move to the upside from the push is done. And now we are looking how deep pullback we get. But we remember the first pullback out of such push on 80K was very deep. So I'm watching if we get same thing. And I'm already short here. Traders know, I told them 2 days back I was shorting during Asia. I was heading to short. So I am long here. I took some profits on long. I'm short here. I took some profits on short, and I'm in hedge. I have 60, like right now it's 50% short, 40% long. So my short is a bit higher, but I'm hedging myself. Still, I have some of the position still running from 97,000. You also had chance to go here at 90K. Right now I'm watching if we lose this top consolidation and finish the symmetry, and then we might find the higher low. I expect Bitcoin to find stability in 65 to 60K. It's very wide box, but we have so many supports here. You will see that in the order flow analysis at the end of the video. But for now I'm watching. We just consolidate. So you trade the range, but if the range is lost, we should be getting that 64K just based on previous symmetry. And also we do have 4-hour symmetry, which is not complete. 8-hour time frame. On the drop from 126,000, we went for this blue box. Right now, this is maximum pain. In case we lose 60K and 58,000, which is 200-week moving average, I expect this box to be filled down to 52,000, and then we can get this much larger recovery. So from a symmetry perspective, we are not complete, but market doesn't have to be like so precise here. I'm just aware of this. Lose 60K and I will watch to complete these moves, because market is waving in very similar waves right now. Market structure for our time frame. We do have so you see this was 13 March of 2024. Used to be like new all-time high for Bitcoin. We've seen the harsh rejections at the high, then secondary rejection, third rejection, generally very strong market structure area. If we go like one more market structure, this was front run of that, so we never got that. But what you see right now, we do see rejections. If you want to see higher, higher moves on Bitcoin, this ping area needs to be reclaimed, and we already are rejecting in it. So I know it's a high time frame resistance, even from 1 day time frame, because the bears, what the bears are trying to do right now here, they just want to keep us contained in this range, and they just want Bitcoin to trade this range distribution for longer, okay? Like that 2021 fractal. So defense is happening here. Reclaim this and we might see larger recovery. And especially if you reclaim this, I would expect Bitcoin to move into 80,000, 81,000 easily, even here. So there is that big battle, but bears are still in control. This is just counter trade bounce. A new range is very likely will be shaping up in between 72 to 60K. Or if we expand and reclaim, it's gonna be maybe from 81,000, like in this box. You will see that in extension targets. I know I have lots of folders, but my system is like in from technical analysis, AMT is like super important for me, but I need these other things which can predict where we'll be ranging and so on. Impulse liquidity, I only kept this for you, so I'll be deleting that, but you see this is the Trump pump. Trump created big premium in Bitcoin. Remember how this happened. People were believing we will get Bitcoin reserves, and it's going to be like they will be buying Bitcoin on open market. So this was Trump's premium. I do believe Trump actually killed bull market because he created his own coins, legislations. He's not selling Bitcoin, sure, but he used this into his own advantage, sadly. And that will have many people sour taste in their mouth. So we lost the Trump premium post the election. This was just premium in Bitcoin build, so yeah, whatever. We've had the liquidity below this pump, so it was pretty much sure we will take it out. Every single impulse has own liquidity, and it was crucial to be taken out. We are local. This is crucial, so you understand what is happening locally. Not hard. Easy. What I do pretty much, I'm short from here. I already covered this setup in another YouTube video, which is going to be public in maybe 2 days. Also was covered in the group in the very big detail. So I'm short from here, long from here, and I'm trading this range here. You could be longing closer to the range. Right now we are more glued to the lows of the range, so we'll see if we defend it again or not. But for now, market is ranging. If you do want to see more ups, more downside, of course you need to start doing new value here, reject, and then we can actually rotate this larger range, yeah, because this range also can be extended here. And we are watching also 66,000. I think we have some nice orders at 66,000, so leverage will try to capture that. You will see that in order flow analysis. So nothing special here. Medium time frame VA, 1 hour time frame. So you know Bitcoin revisited the 2024 range. Yes, we are right now in the upper box. I had trade area over here which failed. We just moved over this, and then I have another big trade area from IMT here. This one is big winner. So, and we executed. We already got 20% bounce from the trade area. I'm still keeping it because I think I want to build longs in the zone. Yeah, from 63,000 to 56 swing longs will be built from the area. It's ultimate area of support and opportunity with so many walls. On a smaller time frame, we do still stay above, below 8 month VAC and 1 month VAC. So there are some nice rejections here. Market was trying to build some value but failed. If you want to see more upside, I want to see at least few days of ranging here, so we create higher base above the VAX, and then you can do recovery to 75k. Not happening yet. You see the power of the AMT. Ultimately, maximum pain point was to rotate the 8 month range. Many people had limit orders here at 60,000. That's why you saw such a big defense in all exchanges in the world, because you ultimately you did rotated that range here. IMT is so powerful. People maybe were in fear expecting much lower, but such val, it was hard to imagine it's not getting defended on the first touch. So very strong low into that. I'm happy. And you see how we are ranging. So if I zoom in to 30-minute time frame, you see how the ranges are occurring right now. Top range is happening from 8 month high volume node. Lots of chop here. It is now providing support. If you want to see more downside, you need to lose this high volume node, and then you will go into the proper supports for new bounces. Yeah. Anchor VWAP today was retested. I told our traders the first touch of this anchor VWAP should be defended, and it was defended for 2.42% move. Excellent. There were like 2 front runs. Do you want to see more downside? Well, start trading below this, start creating new value, and then you can give up some of the gains, because bulls will lose the control of that. I'm still watching for new shorts, at least for scalps or day trades. Anchor VWAP from 90k, still untouched. It was actually untouched for a long time, so it's naked. And then we have this one at 79,000 and still dropping from 97k high, still untested front runs. There can be even front runs. Market is so weak, it's not even retesting them. So you see now what is the problem. We've lost. Like for me, the bear market started when we lost these bands here. Why? Because when I go back to history, do you see what they are measuring? They are measuring, so this one is measuring 54k low, and many of those anchor VWAPs you see are coming from bear market low, also secondary low, also from 33,000 when we started. Market started pricing in ETFs coming into the market right here. So this is ETF anchor VWAP, and they were supporting market this defense here was coming from them. Even here at 77, like during tariffs, we defended these anchor VWAPs, these bands easily. So right now they are underwater, they are a resistance. Do we want to see much larger recovery? And I can be greedy more on the long side, sure, but I want to see these reclaims. We are trading below. It can be resistance on the retest as well, so we will watch how we react. We have symmetries to watch, extensions from the high. market this fall, like this was the high, low, high, then you have trend fib extension. There was no stop at 1-to-1, but 1.5 gave you precise reaction, so I'm watching same 2.5 right now into 56,339 for another target. This will also complete the symmetry of that whole wave. And then we have 1-to-1 extension of which pool? Oh yeah, high here, low here, high here. 1-to-1 extension of the movie still here. So again, from a short perspective, they should be taking profits and they might help with future bounces from this box. 56 to 52. We want to know when we have other side of the market on our side. Some like this is still extensions coming from this range, still very precise. Right now, it's for me very crucial where we start rejecting and creating new range. We either start ranging in the orange box, or we will be doing new range in the pink box. 57.71 or 71.72 up to 84. We already rejecting here, so we will see. Maybe for now it's just pink box. Okay, this was perfect. Everything was perfect here. Very amazing pool. Still working really great. We have this one more pool. The pool started from tariff lows. I was able to predict many ranges with it. Right now, again, I'm watching how we range here, if it's going to be pink box or the orange box. Medium time frame balance zones. Let's see. Oh yeah. So you pretty much did the anchor of this low to this high, and you are watching the liquidity grab, the liquidity I was showing you in Tradingdifferent, down to 61,000. Everything was taken out. That's why you see also the bounce. I'm still keeping this pool because I see market is paying attention to 125. So 1.5 will be future target at 48,000 in case this is lost. Fibonacci to watch above us. 1 hour time frame. The largest open interest increase was happening here. These are breakdown shorts. If we reclaim in the future 85,000, I would expect short squeeze up to 90,000. So you will make more money on your long from such trade. These people will be taken out. How are the point of controls looking? So 60k defended, but if 60k is lost, we have the army of naked point of controls. So I'll be watching to trade this area. Okay. To the upside, this is how it's looking like. We have some decent resistance up here. Another big resistance will be in the future will be 90k, because you got so many like composite. Yeah, we have lots of composite naked point of controls here from like right in the middle, and also daily naked, weekly naked point of controls here. This is weekly naked and monthly naked POC 89,500. So yeah, big resistance in the future. CME gap. So yeah, we are still far away from filling the CME gap. But when you come to this high, maybe we'll do it. So watch it. But for now, it's not happening. Single prints to fill, nothing to say. Key levels. Let's have a look on key levels. This area will be crucial for Bitcoin to continue higher. You see, this is 2024 March high and also key tariff low. So these two levels needs to reclaim. I do really think when we reclaim this, we can actually start recovering into much higher levels. Right now, you see on daily time frame, we are like finding stability from previous bull market highs. Yeah, so it's like very wide box. Market is trying to hold this as a support. Some market participants are playing this like this, so they are trying to build positions here for much larger bounce from the upside from that bullish retest. We will see if that happens. To lower and below us, we do have few more key empty levels from so watch them, mark them, and this one is really good. 53,200. Yeah, this low, it got supported here. Very, very nice level. Another crucial area. I do think also in the future, this is my prediction, but I do think we will get swing value pattern from here, from 49 to 47, and then we get again another huge swing trade. This is my take. because this is aligning with the 4-year macro range support right here. I think we have 4-year point of control, so big defense here. Have spot market entries will be, if I see breakdown, I'm not going to enter, but if I see all the order flow giving me green light to go longs, yes, I will do so. I will show you that in briefly. Swing failure patterns, well, not much to say about swing failure patterns. Liquidity, we don't need to go over, I have Tradingdifferent for that. You see how we got acceptance into the previous ranges. All the naked valves were retested, and then we stopped once we run the final one. It's good to run to mark this. Market structure long terms also doing their job. Main balance zone, let's see which one is it. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, again, you see that key level here. For Bitcoin is absolutely crucial to defend and, you know, to do range here, so we can actually rotate this. You know, acceptance into the old 2021 cycle will be pretty bearish for Bitcoin. So any move below this low and more ranging here, we will risk we run this low, and then we can get that swing failure pattern potentially from the box. If not, if we get 20-30% pullback on equities, or we get financial crisis or whatever, because Bitcoin needs that fuel to go much lower, I think my 60-70% estimates are we will find lows in this box. I know it's very wide, but I can give you the box already, just based on extensions, because you can see market was like huge distribution happened here from previous cycle consolidation. Okay, that already played out. Like all the volume was all the needed volume were done here. But if you lose this distribution, even those bulls will lose the battle. Well, you have this area which is like missing volume from the previous cycle, and you pretty much will be running that cycle. And that's how you get into 40 to 48 to 30k you know, zone. Yeah, so we will see how it's developing. I'm keeping eye on this bull. And you see how Bitcoin was extending each time, one-to-one extension, huge pullbacks. This pull actually I will use for years to come, because it's gonna give me 150 target, 150k target in the future, or we get 129 swing failure pattern for this high and boom down. So extremely crucial pull. Unless you lose 14,000, then it's gonna be negated. But for now, excellent high time frame pull for swing traders. And you see everything bad happened for Bitcoin, because we also rejected from that 97k where we were in short, and we started losing 1 year val, and it was over. All the people bought Bitcoin here now getting absolutely destroyed. We have macro pull for Fibonacci below, still not hit. 57.48. We will see. It should provide a big support for Bitcoin for that swing bounce. We will see. Balance on high time frames. This one played out. No need to go over that. Maybe let me check the pull. Yeah. High, low. You've got the one-to-one extension of the move. You see what predicted above the current bull market. Bitcoin doesn't own us anything. Absolutely not. Because it did one-to-one extension of the previous bull market. Symmetry was hit. In the future, we might see something like this. You go from here and you do one-to-one extension of this cycle. Yeah, so you will measure from here to here, and then you go to 176, or you will do pull for this, and you will do same symmetry, because actually Bitcoin is doing that all the cycles. Yeah, and if you know this, if you are not over greedy in trading, everything is about to be like timing and that, but you see for your cycle, market just respects this. We have to give it the room to go. 16th of October, final low for Bitcoin. We'll see if that plays out. But yeah, profit taking was happening to me, because I know we hit the targets. Okay. Well, I'm really curious what we do with those anchor VWAPs from previous cycle. They are actually like, this is like very interesting one from Corona low, yeah. Now at 46,000, and market still fights for, you know, we've lost these. I was showing you earlier, but we still have the Like if we are counting volume from Monday on June 2022, the wide line is still holding. So I would say this is the final support for Bitcoin from my curve ups. If you lose this, you'll accelerate moves to the downside and we will very likely go for this box I'm interested in. So the support here is not a surprise. This is pretty much last support from the previous cycle with curve ups. Yeah, it is what it is. And now here, here is our macro range. My voice already wrecked. What? So we still have the macro box. I think this one was front run. We might see one more support from here. And then, yeah, I really want to see how we retest 57,200 point of control. Watch that in the future, have alerts. It can give swing value pattern from 60k drop, and then another big area for us, 47,000, 4-year point of control, secondary one. It's almost similar to this one. Macro high volume node, and I will be doing Bitcoin dollar cost averaging here no matter what. No matter if we get breakdown or not, I'm taking entries here. I already have limit order, same like here. I'm using all the capital I was having on the sidelines to buy cheap Bitcoin, as every single cycle. Ultimately, if we get, again, massive pullbacks on Bitcoin, this is going to be your box where you load up cheap Bitcoin, because you will rotate the 4-year range in. Yeah, as you know, we were already building volumes. Here is no volume, so in the future might happen. 36 down to 31, absolutely key area of interest. And we did, you see the current bull market, like I have this pull for a long time. Corona low, bull market high, trend fib extensions, and you see 161 Corona low extension also was predicting top for the bull market. Yeah, the previous cycle did the same thing. So again, huge symmetry. %52 pullback. That's insane. But nothing surprising again. Same like 2021, 52%. It's now a very big question. If we do this consolidation for Bitcoin and then do another 64% drop, that would be pretty insane. I'm not sure if we do similar thing. In case we do, well, we can measure. I think it's much easier for Bitcoin, for us to measure a 70% drop on Bitcoin, because this is the worst case for me, which I have like a 30% chance to happen. 70% drop on Bitcoin is giving us 36,500. It's pretty much lining with my macro range support here. If that happens, you will see Solana in $20. You will see Ethereum maybe for below 1,000, maybe for 800, 700. You will have also good time to buy alts, yes, in such occasion. We will see. But this how fast we drop right now is pretty scary for us to know, even if this was capitulation. This is the thing which is haunting me pretty much, where equities are still close to all-time highs. If equities really crash like 10, 20%, 30%, Bitcoin is already so bad, like behaving so badly, then you know, it's realistic to expect we can even see 30, 20k Bitcoin, right? I hope you book some profits here, and you were in our group where I told you to do so. 100k also was some profit taking on Bitcoin. I booked like 40% at least on spot market in these zones. Okay, anything else from high time frame? Macro channel, I think macro channel is holding, which is pleasant to see at least. Still our support. Again, the midline can help with future swing failure pattern. Be aware of that. You see, I'm building so much confluence for future decisions. This is the channel we are following for a very long time. Midline retest holding. So now we've got the front run. We were trying to use the blue line as a support, but it failed. Midline was rejecting. Yeah, very good pull. Technical analysis, I think this is pretty much it from technical analysis. Already outlined you a few ideas. For short, we can turn on day trading where I'm planning to position myself into shorts. So trade area for me here is where I want to build new positions on Bitcoin for intraday and also add to my core long. I would expect this to be defended based on how I'm seeing order flow. For short, like trade areas, of course, I have reactionary trades. I already shorted here. And then I would like to actually short Bitcoin after we fill the CME gap. If we do swing value pattern at this high as well, I can do short. Even this can be resistance. He's pretty heavy with the point of controls. But ultimately, like good high time frame swing reward ratio short is right here after closure of the CME gap, stopping here. It's also inefficiency here, so we will see how we fight with the inefficiency. It can still be reclaimed, and then you will use the previous. It was huge resistance, and this can act even on larger Bitcoin recovery. I do think this range will be serving us as big resistance. 91,000, the val of the range. Yeah, so I'm watching this. Okay, let's go on order flow. Order flow analysis can be valid for today or maybe next few days, but you know this can change pretty fast. But some aspects will not change that fast. So we can start with the general view on the order books. How is the market positioning? So there are good news. I'm seeing on many exchanges Bitcoin started populating order books from 66,000 down to 60,000. Look at the buy side. I do think these are very bullish order books. I do think people want to buy the dips now the more Bitcoin goes down. I don't think we will see like such a big drops like from 70, I would say even from 80 to 70 to 60k. Huge, very stacked order books. They should be slowing down the falls. You can even see from 66,000 down to 60k, hundreds, like thousands of Bitcoins are waiting on the buy side. So I do think that box will be defended from 65 to 62 for another swing trade. I do really think that. Sell side, you see, is lurking more. Look at that Kraken is still distributing 71. These actually provided resistance because they had lots of orders here. Sell side is lurking right now from 72 to 75. We will need larger volumes to reach higher, and then it's pretty much empty. So 75 reclaim can be leading to much higher upside. So yeah, now you can see that in you will see that in other tools how beautifully it looks like. That's why we trade the range. I'm not going to forward intraday order flow because open interest is going sideways. There is not much to say. I'm really not trading this as much. I'm positions from extremes. We can see, you will see that right here. So we are on Binance spot. Zooming out, 5-minute time frame. Yeah, and that's why we shorted very, like this was excellent short for us because we've seen so much selling pressure on spot markets. It was pretty hard for Bitcoin to continue higher, but you see the downside is also getting limited. Look how they are populating order books. I think we either possibly start the recovery if we are able to, chuck it over this sell side, or these buy walls will be supporting Bitcoin on the way to the downside. So, and market is picking what? Is picking the easiest option, which is just range in the middle where they are keeping. Not many walls are in this area, so market is just ranging in between. But the sell side is also catching up to Bitcoin. You can see how they are lowering. Yeah, so trade the range right now. This is the best what you can do, and wait for the extremes to come so you can trade them. And this is now leverage. I don't think there is much to see on leverage. Let me refresh. Yeah. Spot, we need to switch. These templates are available in our group for higher ranks, and you see very clearly what is happening. So if you are trading the range, this low was also really good today. Brown was covering it already. You've got some perpetual support, and they are still protecting this 68,000. So very, very easy for you to get another long from short. And another big defense, remember that from 65,000 to 65,200 to 65, very nice perpetuals defending. So again, I have alert here, and I'm going to be trading that for another scalp or day trade. And now we can go to TRDR. There is some info there. So order books, No order books we are in bear market, so now buy order books are not so strong. They are not giving us swing trades, but they are at least giving us intraday stability. You can see the ratio of longs were pretty extreme at 60k, which was great. In bear markets, you see higher win rate on the sell side bands, even though order book ratio changed. So like here, first shorts were built, take profit here with some nice supports. Again, shorts were built with the help of the order books. You see right now order books are neutral. Neutral and perpetuals are also very likely neutral. If I go to 0. Yeah, they're actually positive. Yeah, they're positive because we saw that here. So the perpetuals are trying to hold the market for new longs if you want. And generally, the order books on spot market are neutral, so I don't have much advantage here. Like I pretty much don't want to take much trades here. You could be longing with tight stop loss here with the perpetual walls for new range rotation, but like right here I'm taking absolutely zero trades is middle, and the order book deb ratios are in middle. You need to be in short from here and long from here, or wait for lower pullback, or intraday long from here. This is the best approach. Absolutely no trades for me here. We've seen, look at that, so we've seen 30,000 40,000 Bitcoin shorts were opening. If you see the delta, like how it was approaching to the downside, massive shorts built in this move. You see how we started pushing. It was done on open interest decreases. It's telling you the whole move to the upside there was some spot buying, but the big part of it was just people closing their shorts. So the whole initial move was short squeeze. That's one of the reasons we do see range here. We do see range because we lost that forced buying from shorts. And we need like really new genuine spot market demand to lift us away from this range. Or we will just break to the downside on new spot selling. But right now, you have very little advantage of watching new positions coming in, because simply almost no positions are in the market. Only very locally, we are trapping these shorts into the lows like here, but open interest going down. That also gives you another clue. I expect market to be very slow for the rest of the week, very likely, until we build more open interest. The leverage absolutely is cooked. Everybody's scared. People just trading this. Spot market is fully in control. And tomorrow we have NFP data, jobs data, and I think this is going to be moving market a lot. So just wait for that. I think market generally are waiting for that. You see huge liquidations into 60k, very similar liquidations like over here. So it was very exhaustive for us to see that. Shorts also got wrecked. What is CVD doing? Yeah. Oh yeah. We have divergence between Coinbase, I think ETF people are buying. Coinbase and Binance is still selling, so it's leading to range. You see also indecision in the spot market just going sideways. That's why I'm also in hedge, because I see indecision in the market and I can't predict where we move yet, so I can be in the both moves, I mean both exposures, and market will give me direction and I will go with that direction. The biggest moves in the market are coming from Binance. So, and you can also view this, because if you zoom in, there is someone absorbing all the Binance selling pressure, because we are still, we are not doing like, we are not following with the delta on the spot market, yeah, here or here on Binance. So there are some absorptions trying to hold us in range, but I'm not sure how long they will keep us. You see the best moves are happening with the Binance. Why? Because Binance is 60% of the market. They have the biggest volumes. This was the best pump, and right now market is waiting for Binance to come for the help. Here is visualized Binance spot. You see how the sell side has much larger walls above us, so this is keeping us but we have so many buy walls below as well. So it's like, yeah, now it's much more visually cleaner to see, and expect this range here to happen here, because this is the least painful scenario for Bitcoin to do. Here is yesterday I told our traders you can look for resistance and shorts. The Kraken was heavily selling here, hundreds of Bitcoins. They still have two more walls here, but it provided very nice resistance. Some traders were taking short here. Also, I already showed you in the market monkey where are the perpetuals bidding the market. Sell side also is coming to the market like here, and spot market also keeping us in range, not that hard. One more thing about whales. The whales filled huge positions here. These are huge walls. I would assume they try to, you know, hold market well so we can get larger recovery. So they are making profit, but we will see if that happens. But they should be defending their entries here. Another reason why we see such a immediate bounce here, again, you saw that open interest increasing. So all the people were shorting into the big walls, and pretty much it was guaranteed you will do short squeeze once you start coming against the people, yeah, with the price action. So what we do out of this distribution will be important to see. But based on how people filled positions, they filled the position for swing trade. So yeah, I would expect more upside, but first maybe a down move. But I will assess this every single day. It's not, yeah, we will see. Thank you for watching, traders. This was a long video, I suppose. Yes, 70 minutes. I covered everything I wanted. More videos are coming because market is already calming down. This was standard deviation 3 move on the volatility, which means this happens less than 2.5% of the year, or like less than 5%. And I traded like crazy. I would say I even over traded. I was making money, so you know you can get easily addicted to trading when you are making money and volatility is huge. Like you get 1-2% moves every few minutes. But it was not healthy for me to trade like that. I had no life pretty much, absolutely no life. Even gym was stopped. Just food deliveries and trading. Now I'm back to normal trading, so I will publish videos once a week at least, 2-3 trades a day maximum, more positional trading, less scalping because I don't need to scalp anymore, but I can be more picky. I can scalp only when market is really great. So yeah, back to normal trading, back to normal video production. Thank you for watching, traders, and I wish you pleasant trading tomorrow with your NFP data. Goodbye.